The following is a Breaks Media podcast.
Hey y'all, hey, it's Danny.
Hey guys, it's Trell, and this is
The Team. And we have a local podcast, our Pattern family in with us.
Hey. Yes, hey guys.
Rhythm and Brewz Podcast.
Hola.
Go around the table, say your name.
This is Lucky Lefty.
This is Danny, a.k.a. DJ DW.
Okay.
I am Prince Latif.
And I'm Mr. R&B Smooth.
Okay, Mr. Smooth.
What's happening?
Welcome to the group chat, guys.
Got
What's
a
happening?
smooth ass voice. You be getting them with that voice?
Sometimes.
Sound like a panty dropper.
I told you, the ladies love it. So how was you guys' weekend so far?
Or week.
Or week.
Very uneventful. I got a pretty eventful week next week, but
What's going on?
going to see my lady.
The ladies?
My lady.
Oh, I thought you said I'm going to see my lady.
He's like, let me clarify that.
Word. 'Cause she's definitely going to be listening.
I was about to say,
She out of town?
Yeah, well, she lives out of town. She's in Michigan.
Oh, nice.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we're going to go up to Chicago and then head back down to Michigan. So,
All right.
Like the weekend or like a
yeah,
week?
nice little weekend.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Making it work.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you?
Oh, it was a good, busy Saturday. How over there at Bridgeport Creates, we over there, we painted that alleyway right over there by the arcade mall. So it looks like a big hopscotch, colorful
That's
hopscotch over there.
That's cool.
And while that was going on, it was a Good Vibes Festival. Anybody heard of that?
No.
No.
It was a good concert. My peoples was over there
McLeavey
performing
Green.
Where is that at?
at the McLeavey Green.
Right there, downtown Bridgeport.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds dope.
vibes.
Like where
Yeah.
the Stress Factory is, it's literally
Good
right across the
Vibes
street.
only. I think that's what they call
Yeah, it was the Good
Yeah.
Vibes Only Festival. Yeah,
That's what's up.
I ain't hear nothing about that.
Me
I like the
either.
vibes.
I know, right?
It's cool.
it was,
It's
it
cool.
was a nice little thing.
Nice
We
little thing.
stopped
There's
by.
some vendors out there and whatnot.
Okay,
Yeah.
what about y'all? How's y'all weekend?
It was uneventful for me. I just moved. Me and my lady just moved, so I've been unpacking. So
Nice.
yeah, it's really all I did.
You guys just moved in together for the
Yeah.
first time,
Yeah.
or
Oh,
that's
keep
what's
us
up.
posted.
That's what's up.
Keep us posted.
Yeah, thank you. You'll hear all the drama on this.
What about you, Mr. Smooth?
Mine was pretty chill. We went out with some friends last night. It was one of my friend's birthdays. She turned 23. So we went out, had a few drinks, then we all kind of came back to my house and just kicked it, played some card games.
Turn
whatever.
23. How old are y'all?
Yeah.
I heard on the episode y'all like mid-30s, right?
Because I'm like,
we're all mixed up.
Yeah,
We're mixed
we
I'm not
represent all the
mid-30s yet.
decades right
Oh,
here.
okay.
All the
Are
decades.
Are you in your 30s?
Nah, I'm 27.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
be 28 in
because I'm
September.
like, wait a minute.
Okay.
They be talking about some older music. I'm like, I know y'all got to be over 30. So you got 23-year-old friends.
Yeah, I got a 23-year-old friend, 23, 22, 25, 27, then 35, 34, my fault, and 32. There we go.
Who 35?
I'll be 35 in
35.
2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
What about you, Trevor? What's good with your weekend?
I had a really good weekend. Friday, I did nothing. I stayed in the house and binge watched a little bit of Jane the Virgin. I missed the whole season 5 because I don't got cable, so I had to wait for it to come to Netflix. So that's what I did Friday. Saturday, I went to the city and I went to see my favorite podcast ever, The Friend Zone. They had their 4-year anniversary live show. Super fun. Jade and XD were there. The Reed was there. Mandy from Horrible Decisions was there. And Mouse Jones was there. It was cool. I had a great time. I really enjoyed it. What about you?
All I did was work last week. I didn't do anything Friday. I enjoy my Fridays in.
Same.
Yesterday, I spent time with the beau.
Nice.
And that was it.
What did y'all do?
Mind your business.
Besides that.
He had a football game. So I went and repped, I guess. Almost getting trampled on the sideline. But he won.
That's what's up.
So, yeah.
Shout out to Bo.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about.
Right, you got a line for us?
Yes, Joe is under the weather a little bit this week. And I'm filling in for Becca. She's on family vacay. But I do have a drop that line. And I don't know if Trell's want to get it. But
Why can't we just do it and then just see?
Okay. All right. I'm going to keep the positive vibes, all right?
Thank you.
Okay. So Y'all know positive vibe. I gotta figure it out.
Mhm.
Okay. Fellas, do your thing. Let me do my thing. I mean, do your thing. Let me do my thing. Shorty, move that thing. Mommy, move that thing.
Shout it. That's Joe
Joe
Budden.
Budden.
All right.
Pump it up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I had to bring it up because he just came. Well, he said he didn't make the list, but it was like the top 50 MCs ever. Do they still say MCs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
50 top MCs, and he was like number 3 of all time. And
I saw that.
Quite inaccurate.
Yeah.
He's been riding this pump it up wave for a long time now.
Right.
Wow.
That's honestly the only song I know.
Right.
Damn. I mean, mainstream wise, yeah, that's really,
exactly.
I don't really. I mean, I don't listen
he
to
was
him,
on that
so.
feature with Marcus Houston.
Right.
Clubbing was that.
You would know that.
I'm about to say,
Is that like old or?
No.
It was
I
actually
like 04.
Oh yeah, I don't know that
04.
either.
It was a podcast that made that list. I think.
Oh really?
I think it was a bit of a clout chasing move. I hate to use
Probably
that word.
because the internet talked about it like
right
all day, and everybody started making their own list.
Ironically, it was a podcast called The Brew.
oh yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, so they came up with that list,
Okay.
and then another podcast came up with the top 50 R&B.
Yeah, that
and
one
we
was
posted
that was a troll.
But yeah,
I mean,
he
that
admitted that
definitely
was a
was a
troll.
that definitely was a
Yeah,
troll.
'cause-
They had to have been from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Because don't nobody think that.
I wasn't too mad at Ebro's list though. It was pretty decent.
I didn't even see it, bros.
He has some
Alright.
key people missing from his list, but
Yeah, definitely.
So keeping our summer cocktails going, Trell.
Oh yeah, so this week we have our summer cocktail. You know, we're trying to bring like something nice to the table every episode for the summer. So I like few ingredients, especially when I have to make a lot for a lot of people. So it is some Moscato, which is like the wine staple, some rum, some raspberry lemonade, and some lemons. And the guys
rum.
like it.
yes,
'Cause they've been
definitely.
Because it
It
sounds
Let me
hella
try.
like a girly
Really
drink.
good.
I might have to steal this,
Really,
this
really,
recipe.
really good.
Yes, so
Nice
just
little
some
summer
Moscato, some rum. What else I say? Raspberry lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and refreshing, right?
You have a name for it?
Moscato lemonade.
All
I
right.
used to
Straight
make
to
it
the
like
point.
back in the. I used to
Not
make
even
it back in the
creative.
day. I don't know if y'all remember, but I used to make it. But I used to make it with vodka,
Hmm.
and I used to put strawberries and lemons in it. I don't know if y'all remember. I had it at my little hotel sleepover thing.
I don't remember. The one where we was giggling and acting out? I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember. I really don't.
Yeah, I used to make it with vodka, but I don't drink that anymore. So the rum is a nice substitute.
Okay. So I have 2 icebreakers. The first one is I seen it online. I think it was Twitter, and they were asking, when were you a clown for love? So we can start with Mr. Smooth. When were you a clown for love?
Oh man,
Clown, wow.
A clown for love. 2008 was the year.
The year you was the whole clown the whole year.
Yeah, I was a clown for it. Yeah, 2008 was the year I was a clown for love.
What you
Details?
do? Right.
Man, just everything that made me like, yo, everything. Just thinking about
The
it,
whole
it's
relationship, you was a
The
clown?
whole relationship, I was a clown for it. Like, from beginning to end, I was a clown for it. Just doing everything, going out my way for her, everything, clown for love, and yeah, just the outcome of it wasn't even worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
usually
I was just a clown for. That was the year.
2008, the whole year.
2008. Man. That was a wild time. It's a wild time.
What about you?
Shit.
When was
I
I,
would
not?
have to say, yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking, though. The most vivid memory would have to be about 10 years ago when I was 24. I had just moved down to Atlanta. First girl I started, quote unquote, dating when I got down there. Long story short, I was catfished.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we just gonna end that there.
Oh,
Wait,
all right.
wait.
But you was
No,
in
it wasn't a
Atlanta,
dude.
though.
It wasn't a dude.
That's what I'm like, but you was in Atlanta, though.
Nah, it wasn't a dude. She was a bigger woman, but she was sending me her
High
her
school pic?
thinner cousins pictures.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like you got clowned for love right there.
Listen.
Right. But you said you were dating, so like you were talking to her for a while after
It was a
you
couple
realized
months.
you were
No.
dating.
After that, it was a wrap.
So was it a rap because of the whole catfish situation? Or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
lied.
Because I caught her is basically what happened.
How did you get her?
Remember, because this was back in the MySpace days when
Oh,
MySpace
damn.
was still a thing. So like, I had put her email address in the search for friends thing, and her real account popped up.
Oh,
Yeah, and-
sis.
right.
He was investigating.
I was.
You was mean before me.
Because I was in my feelings, right? Because I had just turned 25 and I was having a party and she ain't come.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
So
cool stuff.
yeah. So I had to put on the
Did you ghost her
investigator's hat.
after that? Or did
No,
you
I
have a
literally
conversation?
I had a conversation with her, and it was apologies and whatnot.
Of course.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's dope. Oh, my fault.
It's your turn.
Well, I mean, first of all, I'm married now. Shout out to my wife. You know what I'm saying? Kid that respect out of there. But when it comes to clowned, I can say I was only clowned when you're dealing with your first love. That's when you sacrifice your whole human being, your whole self, and that's when you get lost in it.
That was a very married answer.
Very married answer. But that was a good one, though. That was a good answer.
Just like Latif, when wasn't I a clown? One that definitely sticks out to me was I was really trying so hard to impress this girl and everything, and I was trying to take things slow with her. Come to find out she ended up smashing my cousin.
Oh.
Did she know that y'all were cousins?
Yeah,
Oh, she didn't care.
she didn't care.
Ah, damn.
Ruthless.
Wow.
Let's see. When was I a clown for love? Probably in college. I was just doing
that's
some
the
stuff.
Like, what kind of clown?
That's prime
'Cause
clown
I'm trying to
time.
think,
Yeah.
like, when was I a clown for love? I don't know.
Come on, Trey.
I've
Don't
been
be
a
too
clown
cool
for
to
some
be a
dick.
clown.
I wasn't in love, but
I've never been a clown for no dick. Definitely because I was in love, though. I would say, like, my early 20s. Definitely my early 20s. I wasn't doing nothing crazy. I think I just was dealing with a lot of clown shit.
right. Being very tolerant.
Yeah, I was being very tolerant. That's what I would say. I wasn't the clown.
Okay. All right. So my second one is, thinking about your last year or so. What song would be the soundtrack to your life?
That's a tough one.
Oof. That's
Yeah, I got it. R&B.
That's a good
Go
one.
for it.
Thinking about everything that's been going on in your life.
Ugh.
Yeah, this is gonna take some thought.
I'll go first. I'm gonna say, and it's an old song. Stephanie Mills.
Ooh.
I feel good all over. Because my relationship is new.
Okay.
Okay.
Like that
So
one.
That's fitting. So you a song or a soundtrack? Because that was.
well, a song that
Nice.
would be
Nice.
like
Oh,
would
okay.
describe your year.
I think that's a good one for you. I'm still thinking. So somebody else go.
You got one?
All right, I'll go with this. Just it fits the last couple of weeks. Music Soul Child, Newness. Yeah, That-
Newness.
I don't think I heard
Yeah,
of
it
that
was
song.
off
I never heard
the
of it.
second album. I want to say, is it's about being in a new relationship and all this the stuff that you go through when you're like in a new situation. So yeah, I think that would be the best one for me.
Cool.
Oh, it's on me now.
It's
or
on you.
It's on you. So what you gonna do?
And within the last year, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had to say,
It doesn't have to be an old song.
Best Man by New Edition off the One Love album. I think that would have to be the song that best describes my last year of my life. Yeah, Best Man by New Edition.
Okay.
Can I keep it 100? I thought you was gonna say one of your songs.
I thought about it, but
Okay, just-
Best Man.
I thought you was just trying to get a drop in there real quick.
He's like, I'm not that vain.
We got some show left. We got some show left.
Don't speak too soon.
Yeah, I'll probably have to say mine is an old school song. I Found Lovin' by the Fat Cat Band. Is it? The
Fat Back Band.
Fatback Band.
Yeah.
By the Fatback Band.
The DJ with
because definitely found my love last year in New Orleans. So
Damn, all y'all niggas in love and shit.
I mean, it's a good feeling, man.
That's what's up.
And not all of us. I'm trying to find that. I ain't in love.
Most of y'all.
at the
Well,
time.
since
Shut up, Daddy.
Nice.
Anyway,
What about you?
My song probably nobody ever heard before, but it's by Anderson .Paak featuring Talib. It's called "The Dreamer." You
Okay.
know, back then,
That's a great record.
back about a year ago, that's when I was, finding out a lot of things that I didn't know about my family, about myself. So putting it all together is where I'm at now this year.
that's the dreamer.
More focus.
Gotcha.
That's cool. I don't have one. I can't think of one.
No, what is it? Ari Lennox. Nothing is
I'm
speaking to you.
A lot of stuff is like popping in my head, but I can't even summarize my last year in one word. So a song is kind of difficult right now. Come back to me later.
All right, so we're gonna get into our hot topics.
Right.
So first, I don't know if you guys seen on the news or seen on Instagram or something, but Joe Biden, I think it was his most recent speech.
Yeah.
talking
It's like
to
a couple days ago.
Yeah, speaking to Asian and Hispanic voters, and he said that poor kids are just as bright as white kids.
So he's been getting a lot of backlash for the just as bright as white kids thing. But apparently he misspoke and meant to say wealthy kids, which makes sense. I think that's
Because I listened to it and I listened to not the whole speech, but the rest of the statement. So it was like he was just speaking. And you know how you kind of have to backtrack when you're just speaking off the fly, talking off the top of your head. And he was like, he said white kids, but then he kind of paused and said wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. So
He called himself.
Because he
called
realized-
himself
He
mid-sentence.
called himself.
yeah, he realized.
Yeah,
But apparently he like does that often.
he does.
So like the Democrats are worried, like, are we gonna is that gonna be a good sign when we need somebody to get Trump out of the office? Like you can't make no kind of mistake.
But when you were the VP for 8 years, giving all types of speeches and whatever, you should know better. You should be a little bit better, well rehearsed than that.
Yeah,
Very good way to put
but
it.
he was in the background that entire
Right.
administration. So
Right. I feel like it's an honest mistake.
yeah,
I feel like it's an honest mistake.
And it was clickbait
Definitely clickbait,
yeah.
which is good, I guess.
because it wasn't like a period after the white kids, and he just went on to talk about anything else. He was like, "Oh, yep, wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids, all those kids."
Yeah, because he realized as he said it, he messed up,
Right,
and was like, "Let me keep going."
right. Let me clean this up real quick.
right.
Because this could get bad.
Right.
I appreciate him cleaning it up right then and there, though, instead
yeah,
of
absolutely.
coming back. I mean, granted, he still came back to
Yeah.
clarify again, but at least he cleaned it up right then and there, or tried to anyway.
But I feel like kind of like I said, he should know better. But in that at this point in the game,
Yeah, he can't keep doing that.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know?
it doesn't look good for you.
He hasn't
So-
looked good since Obama was out of office, though.
You think so?
Yeah,
I feel like these candidates are playing into Trump. Like I feel like you're doing too much Twitter talking and taking too much digs at him and not talking about enough solutions or policies.
I feel like that's politics in general, though, which is
That's
why I
true.
hate politics, because it's just so childish and petty, and we lose focus of the real reason we're here.
Right, we're distracted.
So, but is it Wang? Is that the candidate, the Asian candidate? Is that his last name? Wang?
I don't know, so many of them.
Yeah, the dude that's trying to give he's trying to do like a month, like $1,000 a month to people.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
working
To
mothers.
working mothers and stuff
Yes.
like that. He
I
really-
like-
What's his name?
I forgot his first name, but yeah, he's a young guy because he was on the Breakfast Club.
I like he has like over 100 policies. I like a lot of the I don't know too much about him. I still gotta do my research, but he seems like an attractive candidate so far.
Wang.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Wang. Okay.
I heard that too.
Check him
I'm gonna
out.
I heard
Yeah, I'm
that.
gonna
Check him out because he's doing a lot of
working
stuff that I could get with. So, and I'm a working mother too. I can use it
What can I do with $1,000 a month?
a lot.
Right. Where we going next? Okay. Our next hot topic is I'm sure y'all seen this also, but the motorcycle that misfired in Times Square,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just everybody was panicking.
I seen that video.
I posted that video on our IG page.
Yep. Saw it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's like it's funny how something like a misfiring of a motorcycle, something so small can trigger. Y'all been to Times Square, how
Right.
many people it is, and just triggered everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
that's that goes to show that everybody is suffering from PTSD. And
Right.
you're always on, especially in New York. I think people are
was
kind
just
of
about to say
always
that.
on edge. But certain things, as soon as I got off the train in Grand Central yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, I remember the whole motorcycle thing. And I'm like, I ain't got time for nobody to be running and trampling me.
I mean, usually when you see somebody running, what's the first thing you're gonna do? You
Run.
start running.
Of course.
Some people probably didn't even hear it.
It was
True.
a lady in the video.
Because
that
I'm not gonna ask no
like-
questions.
Right.
If I see everybody running,
It's just a
I'm gonna
natural black
Just-
reflex.
yeah,
You
it's
see
just
someone
natural
running,
black
you
reflex.
For most
run.
people.
I'm out.
For most people, anyway. It was a lady in the video that just was kind of like, what's going on?
Nah,
But that's
if
sad,
everybody
though.
running, I'm out. Y'all tell me about what y'all thought y'all seen or whatever later.
Wow.
For real.
For real.
Wow.
But it happened like a few days after the two mass shootings we just
Yeah.
had. One
Right.
in El Paso, Texas, and the other in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
Much much peace and prayers to them
Yes, definitely.
as they're recovering from that. But it's just getting crazy out here.
Yeah, we're conditioned to like kind of think the worst always.
I don't know if it's just my regular
When I say
anxiety.
we, I mean we as a whole.
Because I'm like, anytime I feel like now, especially anytime I go to some place public, I feel like I gotta say a little prayer before I go in. Even Walmart.
I mean, you should.
Even the
I
mall.
think you should before you start the house anyway. Because as soon as you step at the door, it's like everything's at risk. So
Yeah.
That's true.
And I ain't been to Walmart in some time, but
Really?
I was actually in Walmart when I read about what happened at Walmart.
ain't that
He was like, let me get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
I know,
exactly.
right?
I was like, babe, put it in the car. Let's go.
You just never know. You just never know.
Got it one time. I can't be.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. So we're going to cut. No, we're not going to cut to a commercial break yet. Do you have a question niggas is asking?
I do. So this question comes from Social Complex. They're another podcast based out of Houston, our bros. So they've been asking the question from their upcoming episode. Can sex just be about sex with no feelings? I say yes.
I say yes.
I agree. It definitely can.
Absolutely.
Do you think women can just do sex without emotion? Because I think a lot of times guys underestimate us and don't think that we're capable.
First of all, y'all are better at it.
Yeah.
Way better.
Exactly. Shout out to you. You're smart.
I like it.
I've been a clown for love before. I just,
Word.
Y'all are good.
I'm glad y'all figured that because there's some guys that think that women are incapable of just having sex.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I think you do kind of have like maybe a moment where it's like, and you think about the possibility, but
I don't think it's the sex stuff. I think it's the other stuff.
yeah,
Like
something
being on the phone
other
and,
stuff,
and spending time. That's where the feelings come in.
right? Because niggas be in whole situationships and it don't just be sex,
Right.
Honestly, they be trying to act like it, but it don't just be sex.
But then that's when you're involving yourself in a situationship.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no longer just sex. If
Right.
you're there after the act,
wow.
Well, how often do you just have somebody in your phone as saved as dick or ass or whatever?
And that's
And
all
that's
you
it.
doing.
That's just strictly what it is. And she is okay with it. Like she knows it.
First of all, I've been in a relationship for a couple of years, so it's been some time since I've had that happen.
You're a little rusty.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like anymore.
And what about you, Mr. Smooth?
I was actually gonna wait for Lateef to throw that at me. I've never had anybody saved in my phone as that. It's just always been who she was, her name.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
so
not a big fan of nicknames in my
Yeah.
phone.
I mean, I had
I agree.
nicknames, but I was always told to respect women. So like, it would be something like maybe like Thickums, nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something to
Like
to
it
that
wouldn't
fact.
be anything
Yeah.
degrading, and it's
Yeah,
always something
word.
like we both came to an agreement on.
That's
and she
cool.
was like, "Oh, I like that." I'd be like, "All right, that's what I got you." Or some girls have just like pretty much given themselves that nickname for me. Like one girl actually told me, like I was her, like she's my favorite Thickums, and I was like, when did we establish that? And I was just kind of like, all right, I'm gonna put you in my phone as that,
like who told you that?
like
I never did nicknames. I always did ringtones. Like I had
Ringtones.
specific
I
ringtones.
I still got ringtones too.
I'm about to say you still got ringtones?
I mean, no, because my phone's always on silent now.
Same,
This is
same,
back
same.
in
Me
the day.
too.
I think everybody's like that these days.
Pretty much.
The polyphonics.
Oh my God. Did I have ringtones? Say, what's for for a specific
Like
people?
actual songs. I did. Well, like my boyfriend at the time, I did.
I think
That was
I
really
did.
it.
With the
Like,
Nokia. I had my
yeah.
Go phone.
Had that 3G for free.
I had that. Remember
Had
the
one
chirp
game
thing?
on it.
The next
Snake.
time?
Snake.
The Nextel? I was gonna call it a Netflix. The Nextel. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna cut the commercial break, and we'll be right back.
What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy CEO Hayes in the building, host of the Awakened Soul podcast, a podcast that discusses movies, music, TV, pop culture, politics, and social issues. But more importantly than all that, we discuss how it affects and reflects our society and our culture. So if you're looking for a podcast that's for the culture, better yet, if you're looking for a podcast that's of the culture, check out The Awakened Soul, a member of the Brewz Media Podcast Network. Peace.
Okay, guys, and we're back with the Rhythm and Brewz Podcast. So, gentlemen, tell us a little bit about your podcast.
Yes. Rhythm and Brewz. I love that name.
Very clever.
Well, the Rhythm and Brewz podcast is definitely just a podcast where we basically talk about music, mostly R&B, because that's
I like
really
it.
where we usually fall into. Mr. Smooth over here, you want to continue that on?
I mean, Lateef brought us together and brought the idea to us, and we were like, cool. It's, because we always just as boys just have conversations. So it just became like, why don't we actually record these conversations and make a brand behind it and something that people can tune into bi-weekly. So we were like, all right, dope. Because we do this on the regular and we are often drinking.
Right.
But we have these conversations. So we were like, yo, we should do a podcast. And we were down. And then it just became trying to figure out a name for it and everything like that. And
Yeah, it started out as Rhythm and Bourbon. And then it's like, okay, well, then that means we're going to be drinking bourbon every
All the
episode.
time.
So now, it's like, nah, we should do Rhythm and Brews.
It just flows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it flows.
And then
Definitely flows.
Brewz Day.
Yeah,
Brewz
Brews.
Day.
It just flows.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love a clever name.
Yeah. And I was gonna ask, were you guys friends first? Because I feel like a lot of podcasts aren't friends first. So I think that's a great touch.
Yeah.
Similar to us, we were friends first, and we always talk. We could talk all day about 100 different things.
Yeah.
So basically the same thing. Might as well have a podcast. I think everybody does that these days, though. We should start a podcast.
Yeah, everybody.
Thinking that it's sweet. This shit ain't sweet.
Right.
It's a lot of work.
Matter of fact,
A lot of
didn't
work.
one of our guests do that.
One of our
They
guests
came on
did that.
They came on our podcast. We should do a podcast too. I was like,
Right.
We hear
Good
you.
luck.
Gave him a name and everything.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
yeah, we're going to do it.
How long ago was that?
What was that like?
about a month or two ago.
Oh, so they got time to get it together.
Yeah.
They haven't said anything about it since. We've seen it
It's so funny
numerous
because
times.
my coworker, she's like, "Oh, I love your podcast, blase, blase." And then she's like, "Oh, I'm going to start one." Okay. She's like, "Let me pick your brain." Okay.
She ain't told decent. How long ago she said that?
It's
No,
not
I'm just
easy.
waiting for her. I'm just waiting for her to pop up with it. This was remember we went to well, I was supposed to meet you at
Supposed to
happy
meet
hour.
you.
What was it?
She stood me
Power
up.
hour. I didn't see you. I was just late as fuck.
Late as fuck. It's
All
cool
right.
though.
So this is, a pop-up.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some topics in the cut. We're gonna pick them out and talk about them as we pick them out. Okay.
This is the definition of
Group
the
chat.
group chat.
Hey,
Okay, so the first one is what you sipping on. What you
Hey.
sipping on?
Hey.
all right. So that's all right, I guess I came up with that question, so I'll talk
Yeah.
about it. So what you sip on is kind of like our catchphrase.
Okay.
So to further elaborate on the question is, if there was a drink that described your personality, what would that drink be,
What you said.
Hennessy.
and why?
Because it's brown like me.
Hey,
Hey now.
And, anything go down with the brown.
Hey,
I like
Jesus.
that.
I'd have to say wine. One, because I love wine. I drink wine all the time. It's smooth. It gives you just a little bit of tingle. It gives you just enough tingle. And like fine wine that ages with time. I feel like I'm getting finer with time, not just physically, but just overall.
Absolutely.
I think that's wine it is.
I dig.
What about you?
I would say Honey Jack whiskey. It's like it's smooth and it's a laid back drink.
Y'all hear this voice?
Smooth and laid back.
Yeah, it's just smooth and
It's
laid back.
midnight love.
It just goes down well.
Perfect radio voice.
Right.
What about you?
For me, I guess it would be scotch. Like you said, it's something that gets better with age. It's nice and smooth and just something you could just chill with.
Scotch sound like a grown man drink.
It do.
Absolutely.
It do. Like it burns your chest a little bit.
A little hair on your
Not
chest.
if it's aged well enough, it doesn't do any of that. It's just smooth.
That's what you come in after a long day of work and pour yourself.
Absolutely.
That's funny.
Well, my role model has always been in the brown bottle. Used to be Hennessy. I upgraded a little bit. I'm more so on the Douce wave. It's a
I
lot
knew it.
smoother. You know, a little Remy once in a while.
I probably do
From
Douce
Phil.
once
Douce
I turn
is
30.
definitely
Douce's the
smoother.
one. Yeah, Douce is definitely the one.
Any kind of rum, you know what I'm saying? So I guess you want to rock it out. I don't know, but no, that's vodka. My bad. Just rum, because rum goes with everything. I would just mix
can agree.
rum. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can agree.
Once I learned that white liquor get me sick, I just
Yeah,
Stuck
it took
around.
me a long time to learn that. Like I used to drink all the time. I used to throw up all the time.
you did.
It's like no matter what, no matter what I did, like no matter what I ate, it's like I used to throw up all the time. But I realized maybe it was just the clear because once I started drinking like Henny, the brown stuff,
Right.
Don't give you a headache either.
I rarely have
Not at all, not at
hangovers. I do get a headache sometimes, but I rarely have a hangover. I can't tell you the last time like I've been like sick as a dog. I might be a little nauseous sometimes if I don't eat nothing at all. But it's definitely been a lot better to me than vodka ever was.
I feel like the only black person that doesn't like Hennessy.
Well, I
No,
didn't
you
up until
definitely
like
not. You definitely not.
2016. I went to Henny Palooza for the first time. And I'm like, I'm going here. I don't drink this shit, but I'm going to sip it because I just paid my $50. And it was disgusting. But then I went another time, like maybe 2 months later, and a friend told me to drink it with Red Bull. And the bartender was making it so good. I've been drinking it ever
I never
since.
mixed it with Red Bull.
I don't drink it with Red Bull anymore, but that's what kind of made me like it.
You ever had
And
it with
that's how
apple
I started.
juice?
Yes, I've had it.
Gotta have it
Yeah,
with
one of, my
pineapple
girl,
juice.
one of my
too.
homegirls put me on a Hennessy and apple juice, and I was like, okay, I think I like Henny now. But this Hennessy and apple juice is that shit.
I gotta try that. I never tried that.
Yeah.
If
I
I'm
never
drink
tried
it
it with
now,
pineapple juice. I'm
It's
straight
really good
hen
with
and coke.
see, I don't like the soda thing.
No.
I shop.
I
the
do
soda
it,
thing,
but
too.
I'd rather not have the soda. I'll do pineapple.
Okay. What's next on the in the cup? Pulling out of cup. Let's see. All right. If you have a mental health issue, anxiety, depression, etc., when do you disclose it to the person you're dating?
I feel like it doesn't have to be something that you say like on a first date, obviously,
Right.
but definitely I think early on, especially if like your issue say is like depression and you know that you have your moments where you don't want to be bothered and you're gonna be isolating yourself and all that. Like I think it'll be a good thing to say, you know, I'm dealing with this. So if I happen to be a little like distant, this is why, so that the other person can either give you your space or like help you in any way that they can, and not just think like, you know, you're not interested or you know.
What's early on? Like first date?
No.
Or like a few months in?
A few months.
You said early on.
I
What's
feel
early
like
on?
definitely earlier than a few months. Definitely not the first date.
Did y'all sleep together yet?
If y'all sleeping together, I would hope.
So wait, hold on. You're talking about a person diagnosed with something?
Yeah, like if
Word,
you got depression, something that's gonna have a effect on whatever y'all doing.
Yeah.
When y'all agree that y'all, so you know, quote unquote, talking, that's when it should come out. Because I do have anxiety and depression disorder. So I bring it up early, you know, and my girlfriend actually has depression as well.
Right.
So this is something that we go through together.
Right.
So yeah, we brought it up pretty early on. in
That's
the
good.
situation, yeah.
Because I feel like either you gonna know and then you gonna be around or you not. But let me know ahead of time.
Right.
Yeah. If I'm, well, for my situation right now, if I'm really digging a person, I like to pay attention to signs. And I kind of like, you know, will not bring it up so much, but I'll like somehow fit it in. And then they may open up to me. And that's exactly how it happened for me. So I try to pay attention to certain signs to realize, hey, this person may have this trigger, so you got to move this way. And then it's my choice to decide if I want to deal with it or not.
I think that's a nice thing to pay attention and kind of like create a space for them to feel comfortable to tell you.
I'll say, I guess a few months in. Excuse me, because when you're the first few months, you kind of feeling that person out and you don't really know what it's going to be. So, in mental health it's kind of a heavy topic. It's becoming more normal to talk about, but it's still kind of heavy. And for a person to feel comfortable enough to talk about it, I'll say, I guess, within the first 6 months.
I think that's reasonable.
Because within 6 months, you kind of know if you want to be in a relationship or take it further with somebody.
I think that's reasonable. I think it is hard to kind of like put a time frame on those conversations, but I think within 6 months is reasonable.
Okay. Would one of you gentlemen like to pick?
She meant to read it.
Right.
He just took it out the cup.
I'll read it. Do you think black women support black men enough?
I think they always have.
100%.
I think you're right.
They've held us down.
It's just some of us black men fail to realize that.
Absolutely.
And I'll be the first to say that it took me a while to realize that, but I finally realized it. But yeah, you guys always have.
And another thing is a lot of black men don't reciprocate their support.
Bingo. Because I was definitely about to say that. I was about to say that. I feel like black men come for us so often. Meanwhile, we just trying to like support y'all and help you work on your mental health and your self-care and just love you and push you along the way. But black men be coming for us.
Yeah.
And then sometimes men feel like women are trying to like change them or control them, and that's not the case. We just want you to be
100%.
the
You just got your best interest.
Your best self.
be the best you could be.
I mean, I think it is all on how you do it too. Because some women can be overbearing and come off like I'm trying to be your mother. So I think it's all in how you do it. But ultimately, that is just the case. We just want you to be better. We feel like that's our job to help you get there.
Facts.
It should be,
It's a partnership. It's
a partnership.
Absolutely.
So y'all should be helping each other get better.
Absolutely.
I feel like other relationships I've been with not being with a black woman, more so try to enable my bullshit. Whereas y'all
Wait, run that back again.
Very
other
speaking some truth here.
other ethnicities I've been with more so enable my bullshit, whereas a black woman ain't going for it at all.
That's funny because we talked about that a few times in our actual group chat on our phone or whatever, how some other races deal with or put up with or more tolerant of black, I'm about to say niggas.
Don't let it out.
Black men's BS, and that's why they gravitate towards those other races and not towards us.
Right.
I knew somebody specifically. I'm not going to put, my relation to them out there so they know who they are. But I know somebody specifically who I've never seen date a black woman. And I've said to him myself, I'm like, you've probably never dated a black woman because I know she wouldn't deal with your shit.
Straight up.
And he more or less agreed without saying so.
That's sad. Because why wouldn't you want somebody in your life that's gonna help you get to your full potential? That's just gonna pacify you and enable your bad behavior.
Some people are just set in their ways, though.
Or it's like when it comes from, like, let's say a Latina, it's sexy or it's spicy. When it's us, this bitch got an attitude.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that right there
that
is
shit
like
crazy.
You can date whoever you want to date, but don't belittle. You know what I'm saying?
And that's it.
That is key. Say that again for the people in the back. That's key because I think a lot of guys who do date outside of their a lot of black guys who date other race, they always feel like when black women don't like them because of it, or we feel some type of way, and that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
I don't care who you talk to, but don't talk shit about me or make me feel bad to justify what you. If that's what you like, then cool.
I mean, the ones that do that are just insecure and can't handle a strong black woman. That's all that's about.
I
Yeah, the
got
ones
cussed out one time for dating. For the mother of my child is Puerto Rican.
Okay.
And I got cussed out by a black woman once when, back when her and I were dating.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I can't believe a good man like you, somebody as woke as you, would be dating outside of your race. And I'm like, before her, I dated nothing but black women. This is this just happens.
You just like her.
Right.
And I'm glad you mentioned the whole as woke as you are thing, because I feel like that's a whole episode in itself. Because, the question is kind of goes around, how can you be woke and pro-black but date outside your race? I don't feel like they have anything to do with each other.
Correlation between the two.
They're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they are at all. Like, just because I like Chinese men don't mean I don't like black men. It's just he happened to be who I like at this moment.
Right.
You know?
And
People are weird.
what I was gonna say, I think I mentioned this on our live last month. Like when Little Duval was saying how he doesn't like women with natural hair, but he was like personally.
Mm-hmm.
So is it like the way you say it? Because I wasn't offended when and I'm natural normally. But I wasn't offended. I'm like, you like what you like. I don't what you like don't have nothing to do with me.
Right.
Same thing with Chris Brown. He said the same thing. I
Yeah.
like black girls with nice hair. What
we've
is
had that
considered
argument,
nice?
Oh yeah, we had.
You know what I
He
mean?
didn't say wavy. He didn't say straight.
wavy,
He just
say
said good
curly.
hair.
He just said good hair.
Right.
So like,
But we know
Good
he has a
hair
type.
means healthy hair.
Yeah.
That's all it means. Healthy hair.
We're not going to have this argument again, but he has a type.
He does have a type, but he did not say it.
Yeah, he didn't say
He
that.
does.
But,
He didn't say light-skinned girls that look Asian and
No,
stuff like
no.
that, because that's what
I
he
don't
said.
feel like anything's wrong with having a type and him saying that. It's just all on how you say it. One, like, long as you're not like trying to belittle the next person because they don't have that, then preference is preference. I like guys that are tall. Like
Me too.
So I mean, it doesn't mean I don't like you because you're short. It just means I'm short, and I'd rather you be taller than me.
That was always my struggle coming up.
you just
Being
said
only-
that yesterday.
Exactly.
There's
Being
somebody out
5
there that
foot.
like it.
Right. Right.
found
I've been
somebody?
in a relationship for a couple of years, so she, I'm got
She
an inch
like
on her. She's like, oh, you lucky you just made it.
So when y'all take pictures together and she have heels on, do you tippy toe it?
No.
Oh my god.
Did you see the picture? Of
I
Chris
did.
Brown with,
Bow Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, Bow Wow and
It was like him
Sierra.
on the radio this morning.
Look,
He's
I've
so
been
bad.
short my whole life, so I don't try to hide it.
Same. It is what it is.
Okay, you got the next question?
Yeah, it's actually just a topic. It's not a question. It just says men's mental health, which we kind of just touched on.
We did kind of touch on
we
that.
did
a
touch
little
on
bit.
it.
How do y'all feel about therapy? I want to ask you because you're married.
Oh, okay. I mean, I believe in therapy 100%.
Solo and
yeah.
as a
I mean, solo and I mean, in all essence of the word therapy,
Mm-hmm.
it's just needed. I mean, we were blind to that back when I was growing up. It was, but that's something everybody should go through. I mean, in
Absolutely.
my opinion, everybody has some kind of mental health issue. It's not even a negative thing to say.
Right.
Just
And
gotta
I
get
definitely
away
agree with that.
Away from that, that stigma of the word, It's
I
just
definitely
something to
agree
pay
that
attention
everybody has like a little something going on.
Yeah.
do you go to therapy?
Yes, actually. Well, not anymore because I have to find a new therapist. I specifically want a black woman therapist.
Cool.
My first therapist was a white woman, and I would have conversations with her about things. She's like, "Oh my God, you really go through that?" And it was such a
First of
turn
all,
off.
Wow.
First of all,
how'd you get how
that's
It was
not
such a turn
professional.
off for me. Exactly, it was a
That's
turn off
mad
for me. So I just
unprofessional.
stopped going. But
And you don't want to explain that.
Yeah.
right. I don't
Somebody
want to have
that's-
to explain such
that
things.
understands.
So,
Like I ain't come here to do this.
Right.
but personally, and as far as my relationship, it saved me and saved my relationship.
Okay.
Because her and I both went to therapy, like not as a
Individually.
couple, but individually we went to therapy. And when we first got together, I was severely depressed because I had a lot of unchecked issues. Lost my father 2 years later, lost my son, lost, a lot of other people. And then I just wasn't checking any of that.
Right.
So I came into the situation pretty messed up, and that's when I sat her down. I was like, I have to, gather myself, and I'm broken right now. So a broken person is no good for you. So we took a break, and about a year or so later, we got back together.
That's what's up. And that's what you call communication.
Yeah,
Goes a long way.
yeah.
And identifying that you that's one that you're broken and that you don't want to trigger or damage the other person.
Right.
And you know, are not that selfish where you can say like, we need a break. Because some people will still try to keep that relationship going, and then you're just like, it's taxing for the other person.
And then it ends up being
you
a
just grow
toxic
resentment.
situation. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Toxic.
Definitely agree. I think men need to, though, take better care of their mental health.
Facts.
Not even just going to therapy, just working on you and practicing self-care in general. I think more men need to do that, especially black men.
Yeah,
I think,
physical health
I
too.
think black men have a lot of trauma
Yeah.
just in your neighborhood. There's so much trauma.
Part of the problem is black men don't have enough open conversations with their friends.
I
Right,
agree.
right,
friends
right.
and family members. It's
Right.
like I can recall many times I've tried to open up to, you know, some of my closest friends, and all they say is, "You be all right."
I had a thought and I just lost my train of thought.
Like my boy
Completely
just told
lost my
us he
train of
went to he checked himself into AA.
That's what's up.
Like like one of
That's
my high
good.
school boys, and we was in the group chat. We was like, yo, we proud of you, bro.
Yeah.
And we was
Yeah.
kind of like, yo, we didn't even know it was that
That
to
deep.
that point, you know, because I mean, you know, I was kind of the one who really got him drunk for the first time years ago. So when he said it, I was like, damn, I didn't even know it was that deep. But then, you know, he went off to college and he moved away, and then everything he goes, I'm just going so I won't be as dependent. He's like, I'm gonna still, you know, drink, but it's not like to the point where
Right.
I'm dependent on it so
Right.
much. And I was like, proud of you, bro.
Yeah, because
And everything like that. I mean, I went to counseling when I was like 15, you know, but I had a black woman counselor. So, but that was just more so because my parents were, you know, at the time they were going through a divorce and everything. So my mom, I never really vocally expressed myself. So that was always a concern for her. And she was like, I don't know if you're okay. I don't know
Right.
if you're all right. And so when we ended up going, but she's like, I know you're observant. So we went to a counselor, and my mom was there with me and everything like that. And I was just talking to the counselor. But it was closure for my mom, because then when she heard me say what I said to the counselor, she was like, oh, okay. Like I figured he was, you know, he knew what was going on between me and his father, but I wanted him to like
Express
like how he felt, or give me something. Because whenever I asked him like how he felt, he would just be like, I'd just be like, I'm all right.
Right.
But I expressed, I was like, it's because I observed you guys kind of getting to that point. So I wasn't shocked and I wasn't hurt. It was like, I seen this coming.
So it coming.
So, but she was like, just to hear me say that was, you know, but better for her. So I think I'm definitely in favor of, you know, of black men just going to counseling or just talking to
Talk
your
somebody.
bros. Like, talk to somebody.
Yeah, it's nothing to be
man.
ashamed of. I think black men probably feel embarrassed,
Yeah.
or that they have to be strong and keep it in. But needing help doesn't mean that you're weak.
Right.
Talking about it doesn't mean that you're weak.
And that's all generational stuff that comes
Yeah,
from
I
like
was just about to say
childhood and
that's
stuff. So I understand. Like that's not nothing that's gonna change overnight. Expressing your feelings is not gonna change overnight, but it's definitely something that has to change.
And honestly, everyone deals with something.
Right. I was always, for the most part, open with my emotions. And part of like when I was growing up, I was always told, you know, you're a bitch for talking about these type of things. You know, it was, you know, it wasn't the masculine thing to do.
Right.
You're too emotional. You're a bitch. Like, man up. This type of stuff. You
Men
know,
don't
so
cry.
right.
Yeah.
So that's why I ended up having to go to therapy and all that other stuff. So
Do you guys have kids?
I don't have any yet.
I don't have any kids.
Yeah, I have two
lost
kids.
my son.
No, sorry to hear that. So I was asking because you talking about the men don't cry thing. I have a son, so I try to make sure I don't do. Granted, I don't want you crying over something that doesn't even deserve tears. However, I'm trying to make sure I give my son the space to express himself, because I don't want him to grow up into a grown man that don't know how to communicate and that's taking his feelings out on the person that's in his life, or you know what have you. So, but
Or internally just tearing him up.
Yeah. So I think if our generation are more cognizant in doing that with our children, then we definitely would be better as a people as, you know, our kids grow up.
And leading by example. Taking care of our own, I don't want to say mess, our own feelings and whatever, and not projecting it
Right.
on
right,
the kid.
Right.
Yeah, my parents are very open about that. Even my father, because he saw that.
Which is great.
Yeah, he was like, we sat down. He was like, I see this side in you and me, and I don't want you to have that. He's like, because you're not vocal with your feelings and emotions. He's like, I don't want you to have that side of me.
Right.
So like he's like, so just feel free to talk and whatever. So yeah,
Right.
it does help
Talking,
when
it
comes
helps a
from your
lot.
parents.
It helps a lot.
Writing too. If you can't speak it, write it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to pick a next one?
Let's see. Is it okay to send pictures to the opposite sex while in a relationship? What kind of pictures?
No
What?
kind of pictures.
What?
Do you want to? Anybody want to give a little background to where this question came from?
Please-
We were
please
having
do.
this conversation.
Smooth guy.
Please do.
As he takes a long sip, trying to avoid this conversation. Delicious, ain't it?
You said there was rum in this drink, correct?
Truth serum.
True serum. I like it. All right. So on the way up, we were, discussing I was in an involvement. And so now the girl I was involved with, she's in a relationship now, but there will be times where she sends me like pictures. Now it's on Snap. It's not like in my text message.
Still.
But it's on Snap, and it's like, and it's never anything like, it's never news or whatever, but it's just certain things to where me, like, I'm like, I
Why
feel
are you
like,
sending
why,
that?
why me?
Yeah.
Like, why me? Like, I remember one day she had sent me a Snap, I guess, like asking what she should wear to like a bachelorette party she was going to for a friend. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, now I'm new to this. I don't know what nuanced ways we go through in 2019 for relationships. I was like, but I'm certain this is a question for your boyfriend.
Right.
Or your friends.
Yeah.
At least.
Or your friends. I was like, and then, then she send me other pics and just certain things that she's doing. I'm like, I don't know, like, and I don't respond because I'm like, I feel like this is not for me, shouldn't be for me. Like, clearly, you're sending it to me, so it's for me, but I feel like this shouldn't be for me. So, like, what is the reason is always my thing. I'm like, why are you doing this?
There's definitely sounds like some ulterior motives there because I can't understand
Okay.
why you would be
Right.
sending pictures to another guy asking him what you should wear. Especially when you got a man.
She just wants.
that
She
you
still
can
wants to
ask.
have access to you.
Definitely.
Okay.
That's what
Definitely.
it is.
Oh,
So
she
what does
trying-
that mean?
She's trying to
What is
keep
it?
that number 2 status.
Just in
Right.
case.
Well,
Like a just in case.
Well,
thing, maybe.
Chris Rock had talked about that because you never know.
Yeah.
He said that in one of his stand-up. He was like, every woman has like that platonic friend because you never know.
So I seen a question like that. I think it was earlier today on social media. Basically, like, is it okay to? I don't think it is, but the question was like, is it okay to? And I'm paraphrasing: be in a relationship, but still keep your options open.
What does that mean? Your options are closed.
Right.
Position
Yeah.
is filled.
And I feel like if you're in a relationship, keeping your options
It's
open.
out the window. Like you've made.
You're
your
not in a
choice on
relationship.
your
Yeah.
options.
Yeah.
Like
Like, you're not in a
I'm
relationship.
single. My options are open. Like if you see me out with one woman here, and then mind your business. We. It's business. It's interviews right now. Right?
Cuffing season
Yeah,
on the
it's
way.
cover season. Come on, we drafting right now. Come on,
Building a roster.
Come on, we start making these cuts.
Preseason right now.
Yeah, come on now. It's preseason. You're trying to see who's still gonna be on the team.
Right. People do that though. Like, let me just make sure I continue to have access to this person because you never know, which is so bad. It's bad for the other person who you're trying to keep on the back burner because you're stringing them along. And then it's also disrespectful to the person that you're with.
Facts.
But who's to
Focus
say
on
that
relationship.
person that you with ain't doing the same thing?
So then
We're not
you
gonna
need to
operate
either
like that.
communicate and work on it or you need to end it.
So when you say relationship, it is an actual relationship.
I'm talking about actual relationship.
Oh well, yeah.
Because I feel like if you're
That
dating, like if you guys are just
relationship.
The
dating,
number
then
should have
you
been
date who you want to date.
changed.
No, I mean, if you guys have had the conversation that you are going to be exclusively in a relationship with each other, just the two of you,
Yeah.
no extra people. That's what I'm talking about.
So when you get into a relationship, because you said the number should be changed, do you like block everybody that you used to deal with, unfriend them?
I'm not saying that for me because I'm a friendly person.
What's the protocol?
I
What's
don't
friendly?
change any numbers. I just let them. They see the post and they know what's up, and then you in a relationship now, yeah, and that's that. That's where it ends.
I see you with your little
makes it easy.
girlfriend.
Yeah, I see you with your little girl and all that.
Y'all cute or whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
y'all cute or whatever.
Have any of you ever been the person on the back burner?
Not knowingly. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I can't say that I've known that I've been on the back burner.
Did you ever find out? Okay.
Nope.
So it's just me. Okay.
You sound like you got something you want to say.
Like you've been the brand muffin, like you've
The
been
brand?
The one that,
Yeah.
the very,
Like,
like,
yeah,
I mean, this
listen,
is the best option.
I like brand
remember when I
muffins.
said, when wasn't I a clown for love?
He meant that shit.
That's the narrative.
I was-
I
yes,
wanted
I
the
was-
donut from Donut Train.
Things
This brand muffin is
This
going
brand
to have
muffin
to
is
do.
actually good. It's gonna
Yes,
make-
I have been the brand muffin.
makes me regular.
How did that make you feel?
Not great, but I mean, you do what you got to do.
How did you find out though? Like who,
nah, I was
who just
out
says
there.
that?
Some women are just
Ruthless.
brutally honest.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I was always gonna go back to him anyway, but it was
Yikes.
yeah.
Damn, but you got no cool.
Right. And I feel like when you're dating, you're dating multiple people. I feel like that's something that you can be upfront about, but don't be rude about it.
Right.
Right.
Don't be rude. Like, yes, I am seeing someone else. Not like, well, if you don't, I'm had this other nigga do it. Like, I just feel like that's mad
I mean,
unnecessary.
think
But you don't need to be said.
Now at that point, it's a
It'll need to be
competition.
said.
If you don't say it, you could think it.
May the
One
best
won't,
man
another
win.
will, but yeah, you don't say that. Have you guys ever tried to keep that access with a woman?
Ever
I mean,
in
that's
the past, yes.
technically what you do on a regular basis.
Why?
You know, yeah, and keeping it real. You know, keeping it honest.
Where are you going?
I
with
mean,
this?
that's just what. I mean, you just
Remember, your
it's
wife
all-
might listen to this.
Don't say nothing that's gonna get you in
as long
trouble.
as you being
Mute
true,
his mic,
as long as
because
you're being
he's-
true to yourself, and as long as you are, you know what I'm saying, offering your true self, that's what's gonna happen.
To your wife?
No, to everybody in general. If you're being true your own self, you're gonna have that option to do whatever you want. I don't know. That's the truth.
Danny, we gonna call you tomorrow.
Just
And
check on
explain
her.
why this
Yeah,
not.
explain
yeah.
why. we gonna
This
see.
airs on
You know what I'm
Tuesday.
saying?
On Wednesday, I'm gonna give you a call.
We gonna,
So,
we all gonna check in on it.
yeah, let us
We
know how that go.
we gonna all drive by your house, make sure it ain't burnt.
Everything, make sure everything's still
Yeah,
everywhere.
make sure everything's still everything. Make sure the light's still on.
If I see a bunch of garbage bags on the front porch.
Then you
A
know.
new plot in the backyard.
Now it's just an Instagram post you see.
No, your options are closed when you're in a relationship.
Like, well, yeah,
Yeah.
once you're in a relationship, I feel like
Especially
that's
when
the
you're married.
case.
Yeah,
There should be no options.
Yeah, so if the relationship is new, do you still like be texting the girl that you? Because most of the time, or a lot
But
of the time,
relationship or new, y'all just talking new.
relationship.
I was just
Because
about to ask that
relationship,
same
no.
question.
New or not, if
Relationship,
you're in a
no.
relationship, then you guys made a decision to be together, and then no.
I'm
I
just saying,
agree.
have they ever
Like-
been in a new relationship? Like you just cut down a roster, make you this franchise player.
Okay.
This is what you're
But
doing.
yeah, then we cut them off. If that's your franchise player, then
There's no
don't
you
mess
cut off
with
all
that.
communication
Yeah.
with any other player.
You know what it
Yeah,
is?
you're
Once
not
the
trying
couple's
to-
picture goes up, that's the y'all cut off.
That's exactly.
sign.
You don't gotta say. You don't have to
you
say
ain't gotta say
anything.
nothing.
Some people
Soon as
never
you
do
post
that.
picture of your significant other, it's over.
Some people never post their person though.
Or guys don't care. Like they still
Guys
be,
definitely don't be
still
caring.
be in the DM.
No, guys don't care.
Yeah.
I've seen my
Guys are
lady's
just-
DMs. She showed me, and they don't give a shit.
Of course not.
But I'm saying for myself, once I post that picture up, it was like,
yeah,
this is it.
That's good.
That's your
They
notice.
don't always happen like that.
that's your.
Oh,
That's
so
your
y'all doing
prince at
something?
the podium. That's your prince. That's your T'Challa at the end of
Right.
Black Panther. You know, what I'm
Little
saying?
leopard
Yeah,
sash.
yeah, you got the.
Word.
Yeah.
I have chosen my queen. It's
All right.
It's a
What you
wrap
want me to
now.
do? I'm sorry.
We got 2 questions left in here. Let's see. How did you ladies get together? So, you want to take that?
How did we become the podcast, or how did we just become friends?
How did you become the podcast?
Okay, so like what we said earlier, it's conversations, and we thought we was funny as hell.
We are funny as
Everyone's
hell.
initial thought,
Yeah.
like, oh, we need a show, da, 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 da. But yeah, we've been saying that, and we've been having these conversations, and I said like in 2017 that I wanted to do a podcast, and just wasn't sure how to go about it, what I need to do, and I got to put this in there. I prayed about it, and then I was like, God, if I'm supposed to do this, give me the resources so I can make it happen. And he was like, you have your resources, your friends are your resources. I've given you what you need to do to make this happen. So we were on a road trip coming back from DC. And it basically unfolded in that 6-hour car ride, how we was going to get this done.
Yeah, we pretty much, that whole ride, we pretty much decided on the name,
strategizing and
color,
planning, yeah.
everything was done in that car ride.
That's enough time to do that.
Yeah, plenty of
When
time,
did y'all
right?
come up with the
So we
name,
did
ThaTeam?
that. We had a conversation in January, and we launched in March.
Yeah, so we made it
2018.
happen pretty fast.
So wait, can I have a quick question? Does the team, the name, does that like have a meaning to you?
So we used
a
to
unit?
just be like doing like shit together all the time, and we'll come into like a party, and like one friend of ours in particular would be like, "Oh, the team is here," and we kind of
gotcha,
like stuck.
gotcha,
Everybody
gotcha,
started saying the
gotcha.
team here or the team coming out.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
that's nice.
that kind of stuck.
And then now that we're also like business partners, it's like, teamwork makes the dream work.
Right,
It
Hell
really
yeah, hell yeah.
fits now.
Yeah.
Everybody
Especially.
has their special role that they play on the team to get these wins.
Right.
That's what's up.
That shit is dope.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
We got time for this last one,
We'll do it real quick.
and then we're gonna wrap it up. Who was your favorite guest? Oh, I love them all. I feel like that's the safest answer.
Me. Because I'm not on all the time. Favorite guest.
Can I interject?
I think the people's favorite was probably when we had Justin and Ricardo on. I feel like our listeners, that was probably like their favorite as far as guest wise. I don't necessarily have a favorite.
My favorite, I'm trying to think who like dropped the most gems or whatever. I have two. Dr. Earl Campbell and Omar.
Omar was good too.
Yeah. Relationship wise,
What was that? Three's a
guy.
crowd? Yeah. That episode we talked about threesomes and
Side
cheating
chicks.
and side chicks and,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
He had a good male perspective on it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. What about y'all? Do y'all normally have like guests on all the time?
Almost every
Often.
episode. Do we have a favorite guest?
It's a lot of favorite guests. A lot of, all the guests we grew from. As a group, having the guests, but just I can name a whole bunch of favorites. I like when Ben Ryder was there. That was a wild show.
Oh, he was talking about the R&B panel.
When Roz was there, that was cool. I wasn't at that one, but it was good to get all the information about the
Right.
politics. It was a good show. When Jeff Velez was there, that was a dope one.
So yeah, I got a lot of them. I think we've been doing pretty well with guests this year. Like all of our guests have come on and been like just great additions to the group
Right.
chat.
I just love when they drop gems. I like because
Yeah.
I want people to take from our podcast each episode. Like,
Right.
Did you take some? Did you learn something? Like, I want you to take from each episode.
Definitely.
So when y'all come and drop them gems,
Yep,
I
yep.
really appreciate it.
Definitely. So obviously we can talk. So we're gonna have you guys back again, but we're gonna wrap it up. We got a few church announcements.
We do. Okay, let's start with August 24th. We have we're gonna be on the red carpet at Love Day. I'm excited for that. It's our first like red carpet coverage.
Yeah, and we actually have two coming up this year. But yeah, so that's August 24th. It's going to be at Terminal 110, Rejuvenation. So you can follow them on Instagram at REJUV Nation for tickets. It's just basically an event to get creatives together, people that want to be creative, people that love creatives, and just bring everybody out to just have a good time and mix and mingle with each other. And then the following week, we're doing our happy hour on August 30th. So if you guys are available, come through.
After work, pull up.
Yes, it's Friday. It's the Friday of Labor Day weekend. So we're kind of like the kickoff. Open bar for 3 hours, $30. Can't beat it. And then September 15th, we'll be at Free Your Scalp. And then our live show is September 21st. If you guys have not gotten your tickets, make sure you do that. It's going to be a really fun time. If you missed our last one, you can go on our YouTube and watch the whole thing or watch a clip and kind of get an idea of how this one may be. But it's going to be fun. And I hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, pull up.
Yes.
We got some merch out.
Oh, yes, we do have merch. So it's in our link in our bio, right? Mm-hmm. So, go to our Instagram, get you a T-shirt or a hat. We'll have more stuff coming soon. But right now we got T-shirts and hats.
Hit the link in our bio on Insta, or you can go to thebreaksmedianetwork.com and get that.
You guys got anything coming up?
All right. So we have our monthly event that we do on the fourth Friday of every month that we call the Kuumba Kickback. Mm-hmm. It's just another event that brings creatives together. It's kind of like an open mic, but not really, because there's no open mic list. It's kind of like, it's more of a jam session than an open mic. We usually have a big canvas on the wall for everybody to paint.
Nice.
It's always a vibe.
Nice.
No two Kuumba Kickbacks have been the same.
Nice.
Cool.
We actually are trying to make plans to make sure we attend that event.
Yeah, so. I'm hoping y'all come to this month because we're celebrating my birthday at this month. So that's
When's
August
your birthday?
23rd, August 21st.
Okay, so you're a Leo.
Yeah,
thought-
I'm a
I'm a
Leo
Virgo.
Virgo cusp. Yeah.
What up? We out here.
Yeah, we definitely gonna try to
Nation
make
strong.
that event. That's what's up. You guys want to plug like your social medias? Where can they follow you? Where can they tune in to your podcast?
Our podcast is the Rhythm and Brew, the R&B podcast. I'm sorry, and that's on Instagram, that's on Twitter, that's on Facebook, that's on SoundCloud. You can find us on Spotify. Are we on iHeart?
Mm-hmm.
iHeart and Apple, and iTunes, Apple, whichever they call it nowadays. But yeah, follow us on the gram. You can follow me on my personal gram. That's _Denzel
Plug
Williams
yourself.
Music.
Good. Oh, you?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
no.
I'm also a photographer for those that don't know. So I'm Latif.b.photo.
Check them out.
And I am an aspiring actor as well. And you can catch me at Lucky Lefty. It's 277 UCKY 7 EFTY.
I do Poets Realm every single Wednesday. Come
that
down.
sounds nice.
You know what I'm saying? And DJ. Going to be DJing the Farmers Market that's coming up in 2 weeks for the first time at the McLeavy Green. It's just something to keep up to.
A lot of good
That
things
sounds
Rhythm and
going
blues,
on.
yo.
Don't say it's nothing to do out here. We got plenty to do out here. You just got to pop out.
So we talked about mental health a lot in this episode. So before we go, I want to leave you guys with a self-care tip for this week. I would say at the beginning of your day, take like 30 minutes to sit in silence before the household gets up, before you start your day, and just take time to reflect on how you feel today and set positive intentions for what you want to get out of your day. And I think that's a great way to go out into the world and just invite peace and positivity in. So every day, 30 minutes before you start your day, take some time to set positive intentions on how you're going to spend your time. You got a positive vibe for us?
Yes, Joe, not here, but she sent in her positive vibe, and it is integrity cannot be bought.
And that's a fact. That came from
Our last episode.
our last guest. That's a good one. Positive integrity can't be bought.
Yeah. So take that with you this week. Act accordingly.
Yes.
Okay,
And we're going to wrap it up and get up out of here. You guys have a great day. Bye, guys.
Deuces.
Talk about it in the head. Yeah.